Now, last thing before I get to all your questions is your defensive streamers of the week. So before we hit those, again, that thumbs up button, I know I'm a little slut for it, but it does truly help us out, get to more people. That thumbs up button, YouTube, Facebook. If you're on Twitter, that quick heart button, retweet, shares, all that good stuff. It's just so crucial as we're, again, a new young upstart fantasy site. Your help can mean the world. Let's now move into our defensive streamers of the week. Now, first check for the Steelers, 58% rostered. They're going to be home versus pathetic Zach Wilson. I do want to make sure to hit some caution here, though. Like, don't go below $10 to get him because you see Steelers, home, Zach Wilson. Because without TJ Watt, they've scored just 3 and 2 fantasy points since losing them. They get Buffalo next week, so it would be a 1-week thing at most. I still think they're the number one out there in nearly half of leagues, though, defense. If you can just kind of slide in for $1 or maybe even just slide in for $0. I like the Steelers. How can you not? Zach Wilson was somebody we wanted to target all last year. They've given up a ton of sacks, too. The Jets suck. But if he's gone, I love the Minnesota Vikings. They've had, pretty solid numbers so far this season. 12 points, 7 points, 1 2-point effort. And that was facing some pretty good offenses. They head to London to now face off with Jameis Winston and the Saints, who have given up the most, and it's by like a country mile at this point, points to fantasy defenses. In back-to-back weeks, 16 points to the Panthers, 26 points to Tampa Bay. So again, 12-7-2 for Minnesota as they face some quality offenses. I think this, could be a sneaky big play at only 19% rostered. I could see a 15-point day coming out of Minnesota as they play that London game this weekend. You get something to cheer for, too, at 9:30 football. Now, if you miss out on them, I like the Dolphins at only 15% rostered. They've had 4 sacks and a takeaway against the Bills, one of the best offenses in the league, 7 fantasy points against them. They put up over 20 fantasy points against a shitty Patriots team. Now, the Bengals have a good offense, no doubt about that. They're coming out in those Bengals whites. I get that, too. A little scary. But they've also given up a league-high 15 sacks. So the Bengals defense, yes, they'll put up some points, that offense will, but they're also going to give up some sacks. Again, the most in the league. They've allowed the 3rd most points to fantasy defenses on the year. I think the Dolphins, they face the Ravens and the Buffalo Bills, 2 of the highest scoring, 2 of the top 3 attacks in the NFL right now. And they came out like with okay fantasy stats so far, other than that Ravens game. So this could be an opportunity for the Dolphins to really go in and get after it. Now, if you miss out on those guys, another highly available team is the New York Giants facing Chicago. They're dead last in the league. I cannot believe this is an actual stat. 78.3 passing yards per game. Pathetic. Now, that kind of hurts fantasy defenses in a way because you want that air under the ball to be able to pick it, to make some plays with the ball in your hands now. So that is tough. And if they're good, the Bears are a good run team. And without Leonard Williams last week, we saw the Giants get gashed for over 178 yards from Zeke and Pollard. So Leonard Williams coming back would be enormous to me, feeling comfortable using the Giants because I feel good about their pass rush. I like their secondary. I think we're due for a couple picks again from Justin Fields. We just saw Houston put up a double-digit fantasy points day, getting to him quite often, or 9 points. Okay, close to 10. But still, they are dead last in the NFL with 265 total yards a game, and again, 78.3 passing yards. So if we have Leonard here, I think this would be a great spot to fire up your Giants. And the last D-streamer I want to shout out here is a Colts team that just shut down Pat Mahomes. You're getting a Titans team that's given up the 8th most fantasy points to defenses now, 26th in the league in total offense, 22nd in scoring. Not a good high-powered attack. They seem to find their groove a little bit this last week, but if the Colts can really put the clamps on Pat Mahomes for a solid half of football, I think they could absolutely shut down Tannehill and this just a mediocre Titans team. There's also a chance Darius Shack, whatever his name is, Leonard comes back. So they did this, solid defensive performances without Leonard. I think this could be a nice week to fire them up if you're looking for a streamer. Wolfpack, that wraps up my top 10 waiver wire picks, my defensive streamers. Of course, our sponsor, No House Advantage, as well. Thank you guys so much for being here. Let's hit your questions. What is up, you fantasy wolf? Thanks so much for tuning in. If you haven't already, share your thoughts in the comments, check out some more videos, and join the newest Wolfpack by subscribing below.